All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, the elder bishops of Great Millstone who do well. Peace and salutations to the elect, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, the men that are on the highways and the byways, doing this work in truth and sincerity, the remnant men, women, and children of the elect. To you all I say Shalom. My name is Ahmawan Ahyash. Back with another lesson through the power and spirit of Yahweh by Yahawashi. Lord willing, it's edifying. All right. And I want to jump into a couple of articles going into, the pestilences that are basically that are coming about, okay, throughout the four corners of the earth at this very moment. I literally got 3 notifications on my phone today about 3 separate diseases or pestilences or outbreaks that are happening. Okay. And that's through the spirit. All right. For me to get these notifications and this information so I could do a lesson on it, man, to tie it to prophecy, to measure the times. All right. Like we've been doing through the spirit, man. All right. Because, 2 Ezra 9:1 tells us to measure the times diligently down itself. Okay. And as we do that, the whole idea is to link the current news, link it with prophecy. Okay. Continue to link it with prophecy and prove that the scriptures are right and exact. Okay. Because this is what we believe in. Right. And the Lord to put the spirit on us has given us the tools and equipped us with what we need to do exactly that, and measure the times and to go out and tie it with the scriptures and do the work, man. Warn our people, warn the nation of Israel. All right. And that's what we doing, man, through the power and spirit of Yahweh by Yahawashi. So this is an article from CNN that came to my phone today. This is WHO, which is the World Health Organization, declares that Mpox outbreak has now been declared a global health emergency. All right. Now, I'm not going to play a video because last time I did, I got a copyright strike. So I don't want to do that. But it says here the World Health Organization I think that might have been from YouTube though. But anyway, it says CNN, the World Health Organization on Wednesday declared the ongoing Mpox outbreak in Africa a global health emergency. Okay, and the key part in that where it's underlined, it says a global health emergency. Okay, the last thing that we just came out of was the C19. Okay, that was also a global health emergency. Okay, so this Mpox thing could be along those same lines. Okay, we could be looking at the next public health emergency where there's lockdowns and shutdowns and a lot of restrictions and limitations that are being placed on the society. So it's something that we have to watch out for. That's what the watchmen are for. All right. It says the WHO convened its emergency committee amid concerns that a deadlier strain of the virus clad LB had reached 4 previously unaffected countries in Africa. This strain had previously been contained to the Democratic Republic of Congo. It says the independent experts met virtually Wednesday to advise WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus on the severity of the outbreak. After that consultation, he announced that he had declared a public health emergency of international concern, the highest level of alarm under international health law. So the highest level of public health emergency was declared, okay, by the WHO director, which says a lot. All right, which says a lot. Okay, which means this is serious. Okay, which means it's not something that you should just scroll past. Which means, this outbreak could get deadly and it could make its way to the shores of America. Okay, Babylon the Great, around the globe. All right. It says the detection and rapid spread of a new clade of mpox in eastern DRC. Okay. Its detection in neighboring countries that had not previously reported mpox and the potential for further spread within Africa and beyond is very worrying. The emergency committee met and advised me that the situation constituted a public health emergency of international concern. I have accepted that advice. Now, this is the part I read that I want to read, okay? It says, also known as PHEIC, this is the status given by WHO to extraordinary events. Okay, so they only declare these public health emergencies the way they do it, the way they're doing this, when they come across extraordinary events, when their findings are categorized as extraordinary events. Okay, it says that this is a status given by WHO to extraordinary events that pose a public health risk to other countries, like I said, the way it could spread, okay, through the international spread of disease. These outbreaks may require a coordinated international response according to the organization. What does this sound like, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, let's sound like the last one we just came out of, okay, the C19. Okay, it says here it was unanimous that the current outbreak of mpox, the upsurge of mpox, is an extraordinary event. Committee Chair Demi Ogoina said, what we have in Africa is the tip of the iceberg. We are not recognizing, or we don't have the full picture, this burden of mpox. Okay, so, you know, this is actually, let me read just a little bit of a statistic here. Since the beginning of the year, more than 17,000 mpox cases and more than 5,000 deaths have been reported in 13 countries in Africa. Okay, so 17,000 cases and more than 500 deaths have been reported in 13 countries in Africa, according to the Africa Center for Disease Control and Prevention, which classifies the outbreak as a very high-risk event. The highest number of cases, more than 14,000, is in the DRC, which reported 96% of confirmed cases this month. Okay, mpox, formerly known as monkeypox. Okay, because this is not the first time that we was hearing about monkeypox. This came, you know, it hit the scene. I don't know exactly what hit the scene, but there was a lot of noise about it at some point. Even I think it was in late 2023, like mid to late 2023, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, or maybe even earlier this year. It says, mpox, formerly known as monkeypox, is a viral disease that can spread easily between people, and from infected animals. It can spread through close contact, such as touching, kissing, or sex, as well as through contaminated materials like sheets, clothing, and needles, according to WHO. Symptoms include a fever, a painful rash, headache, muscle and back pain, low energy, and enlarged lymph nodes. Okay, so that's all I'm going to read on this article. Okay, so this is something that we have to keep our eyes on. Okay, because we can literally be looking at the next pandemic. Okay, through this global health emergency. Okay, now the next article that came to my phone today. Okay, so again, you see how it says published August 15th, 2024. These literally came to my phone today. The last one I got, okay, August 14th, which is today. But wait, hold on. Let me go back to that, because that would be crazy. Hold on. I don't know how this says August 15th, 2024. Maybe it updates as I click on it, okay? Because today is Wednesday, August 14th. So I don't know how it says August 15th. But again, now it's 12:32 a.m., which is most likely, not most likely. It's August 15th, 12:32 in the morning. So it just turned August 15th. 32 minutes ago. Okay, but I had saved this article from earlier in the day, which is August 14th. I don't know how it's updated. Like I said, it probably updates as you click on the article. But whatever. That ain't even the point. So this one from the Sun is another article I got today. It says, what is gonorrhea? Unsafe sex, cases of super gonorrhea Cases of super gonorrhea resistant to multiple drugs identified in England. Okay, so this super gay basically saying this super gonorrhea, they ain't even got nothing to deal with it. They ain't got no drug to try to even deal with it. 5 cases of an extra super drug resistant gonorrhea have been detected in England, according to a new government report. The newer strain has proven resistant to even more antibiotics than its predecessor. Super gonorrhea raising fears that the infection could one day become completely untreatable. Okay, so again, more plagues, man, more pestilence, more disease. Because this is what we're seeing: a bunch of diseases, man, that are gonna be running through the globe. Okay, they say while the STI is not a killer. Okay, while the STI is not a killer, it can cause long-term health problems if not treated, such as pelvic inflammatory disease, infertility, ectopic pregnancies. The first case of super gonorrhea in England was detected in 2016, and since then have been on the rise, with 31 reported in total. The strain is resistant to the primary antibiotic, ceftriaxone, forcing doctors to rely on the backup medicine azithromycin. The newer extensively drug-resistant strain was detected in 5 people between June 2022 and May 2023, according to an early precedent study from the UK Health Security Agency. Okay, no need to keep going into that. Just the point is that these plagues, these diseases, these pestilence will continue to come. All right. Why? Because it's biblical prophecy. Okay. And I just want to touch on the last article I get before I grab a couple precepts that I have lined up. All right. So this is one from USA Today. Again, August 14th, 2024. Parvo virus B19 increasing in the U.S., CDC warns. All right. How to prevent it, recognize symptoms. Okay. So it says more people in the U.S. have become infected with a highly transmissible seasonal respiratory virus that can pose serious risk to pregnant women and people with blood disorders. Health officials say the parvovirus B19 is transmitted through droplets of symptomatic people from infected people who don't show any signs of infection. The virus appears to be spreading this summer based on a range of evidence, blood plasma samples, and anecdotal reports. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said Tuesday, issuing a broad warning to healthcare providers, health agencies, and the public. All right. All right, I'll just read the paragraph and I'll get into the scriptures. It says, in its alert, CDC officials said the proportion of people who tested positive for antibodies, an indicator of recent infection, increased across all ages, from less than 3% having immunity from 2022 to early in 2024 to 10% of people in June. The greatest increase has been among children ages 5 to 9. In plasma donors, the samples showed the prevalence of virus DNA jump from 1.5 in December to 19.9 in June. Now it says the greatest decrease has been among children ages 5 to 9. You know why? Because these children, from the time that they come out the womb, they're being poisoned. Okay? And they're more susceptible to these in types of infections. Okay? Because their immune systems have been compromised. And it's crazy because, your immune system is really the strongest when you're a baby. Okay? Because you're not exposed to all these different type of chemicals yet. All right? That's why it's always good to breastfeed your kid, because your kid comes out, they're not exposed to all these different chemicals and these genetically modified substances and everything that this backwards ass society has to offer. Okay, you breastfeed your kid, they get the proper nutrients. Okay, which is a shield. It protects the child. Okay, the immune system gets built up very strong, and they're protected from a lot of these infections and stuff. All right, but not today, man. All right, these young mothers, these so-called mothers, are just feeding them that powder, that Similac, that formula. All right, They don't want to breastfeed their children because they don't want to ruin their breast. Okay, they don't want to take the time to really truly parent and raise up their child the way they're supposed to. All right, not to veer off and go off, but that's just it's just the truth, So yeah, man, that's really what this is going into, man. Um, I'll read the rest of this. All right, it says, let me close that. It says the CDC noted there have been increasing reports of complications among pregnant women and people with sickle cell disease in Europe. More than a dozen countries also saw unusual high number of cases of parvovirus B19 in the first quarter of 2024, CDC's alert said. All right, so I'm just pointing these out. These 3 articles that I brought out, I point them out to, make the point that these plagues, these diseases, these pestilences will play a part in prophecies. They have their part in prophecy. Okay. Now, I'm gonna jump into Jeremiah 29 and 15 through 19. We'll read these verses. Okay. Now, this is, you read Jeremiah 29. You start at the top. It says message to the exile going into the Babylonian captivity under Nebuchadnezzar, when Israel was carried away to Babylon. But when you jump down, I mean, this can be applied to now, because as it reads here, it says Jeremiah 29 and 15. It says, because ye have said, the Lord Yahawah Bashim Yahawashi have raised us up prophets in Babylon. Okay, so the Lord did raise up prophets back in the Babylonian captivity, but also this, the virgin daughter of Babylon, America. Okay, he raised up prophets now. It says, knowing that thus, so it all applies spiritually, is my point. All right, knowing that thus saith the Lord of the King that sitteth upon the throne of David, and all the people that dwelleth in the city, and of your brethren that are not gone forth with you into captivity. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will send upon them the sword, the famine, and the pestilence. Okay, and will make them like vile figs that cannot be eaten. They are so evil. Verse 18, and I will persecute them with the sword, and with the famine, and with the pestilence, and will deliver them to be removed to all the kingdoms of the earth, and to be a curse and an astonishment, and to be a curse and an astonishment and a hissing and a reproach among all the nations which I have driven them. Okay, so the Lord has always prophesied it. The Lord has always told us what was to come concerning these pestilences and these plagues. Okay, and that word astonishment, because I always found that word to be interesting when you go into the definition of the word astonishment. It's a waste, a horror, appallment. Okay, waste of a city, waste of land, a city, appallment, a horror. So Israel, let me define this word, web search for appallment. Okay, let me see. Let me see if it's in Merriam. Appalling, right? It comes from the word appalling. It says inspiring horror, dismay, or disgust. Okay, appalling, savagery, and that's what Israel represented in these different captivities under these different kingdoms, right? We were appalling. We were a sign of disgust, man, to Yahawashi for our disobedience. Okay, so back in Jeremiah 29 and 18, verse 19, it says, because they hearken not unto my words, saith the Lord, which I sent unto them by my servants the prophets, rising up early and sending them, but ye would not hear. So, the point is that the Lord will persecute them with sword and with the famine and with the pestilence, and will deliver them to be removed of the kingdoms of the earth. And that's what we are now. We're here in Babylon, in the last, kingdom, okay, before the true righteous kingdom of our Lord and Savior Yahawashi, okay, known as Babylon the Great. This is the last kingdom, okay, that will stand. And what's going to happen is we're going to see the sword. We're going to see the famine. We're going to see the pestilences. All right. And I looked up Jeremiah 29 in the NLT, and I wanted to get that real quick. Let me see. Let me just Jeremiah 29 NLT. and verse 18, where it says, yes, I will pursue them with war, famine, and disease. Okay, so that pestilence, it goes into the word disease. Okay, and I will scatter them around the world. In every nation I will send them and make an object of damnation, horror, contempt, and mockery. And that's what our people have been amongst these different captivities. Okay, and here in Babylon the Great, the Lord's going to send these different plagues and these different diseases that we just went into. The mpox. What else we got? We got, this super gonorrhea. Okay, we just came out of C19. Okay, and all these different types of diseases that are sprouting up. This is all the prophecies that were promised to come. Okay. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 6. What did Yahawashi say? And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Okay. And these are the beginning of sorrows. What we're seeing here, these are the beginning of sorrows. Okay. We came out the C19 not too long ago. Okay. Now we got these outbreaks happening. We've had different scares. You had different, what was that one that was out? Probably like, the other one that was in Africa. What was Ebola? Right? Ebola hit the scene pretty hard. It didn't go that far, but we thought that was going to be some sort of global pandemic at one point. Okay, but these things are propping up, they're sprouting up, and we are to keep our eyes on them. All right, because it's been prophesied. Okay, and it says here in verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows. So because we've been seeing these, we just came out of a pestilence. Okay, and this is the beginning of the sorrows. There's more sorrows to come for this world, for this society, for Babylon the Great. All right, what else we got here? Got two more real quick. 2nd Ezra 15 and 49. Let me get that. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 49. It reads, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and with death. Okay, and when you measure the times diligently, we are in the time of destruction. Okay, we at the end of Esau's captivity. So at the end of Esau's captivity said, the devil shall come down with great wrath. Okay, so all of these, pestilence that are popping up, the Lord, Esau is doing a lot in these laboratories and with these studies, and they're releasing these plagues and diseases into the earth. But the Lord put the spirit on Esau, Edom, to do it. All right, so when the Lord says he'll send these upon him, he's using Esau, Edom to actually send them for a lot of this stuff that's happening. Okay, who you think he's using to set up his MOTB? Who's the beast? Okay, the mark of the beast is, basically the mark of the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. Okay, the mark of this beast system. Who's in control? Okay. All right, man. So, again, let me read that again. 2nd Ezra 15 and 49. I will send plagues upon these, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with death and destruction. Okay, with destruction and death. All right, and this is what we are about to experience on a very high level. We're seeing it in pieces, but all hell's gonna break loose, and society is absolutely gonna collapse under these very vicious events: poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence. Okay, got one more verse just to close it out. Isaiah chapter 34 and 16. And this is what we believe in wholeheartedly. Why? Because the scriptures say all of these must come to pass. Isaiah 34 and 16, it says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate. Okay, now it says no one of these shall fail. What are the no one of these? It's these prophecies, man. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. Read what? Read these prophecies, man. Okay, get the breakdowns by the true teachers, the true elders, starting with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Okay, on down. All right, get the true understanding of the word by the true men of the Lord. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. From my mouth it hath commanded, and the Spirit has gathered them. All right, so none of these prophecies shall fail. When we see these plagues and these pestilences, it's directly connected to, okay, it's directly connected to, Bible prophecy. Now, who knows? Mpox could be the one that breaks. Who knows? All right, we just got to sit back and watch and watch the will of the Lord be done. Right, it's all you can do. It's not like you do. It's not like you could do anything about it. All right, but with faith and with belief and trust in Yahawashi, being in this truth, being a believer, and being a servant, we are all of our hopes lie within this word, within this truth, lie within the names of Yahawashi that we wholeheartedly believe in. All right. So, this is what's been in the news lately. Okay. These plagues and pestilence and diseases shall come, but it's all part of the will of the Lord. All right. So with that, I hope you were edified. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Akakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elder bishops of the Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the elect. Shalom.